Nothing like a new Pokemon generation. The latest trailer for Sun and Moon brought new information and everyone's going crazy for it. There's a lot to talk about, but for now, how about we narrow things down a little and focus on the headliners, the legendary Pokemon that serve as this gen's mascots. Let's see if we can use the, quite frankly, unexpected details we got about them to learn more about what we don't know and see if we can figure out more about the games as a whole. The first of the two is the lion-like Solgaleo. Classified as an Old English spelling of sun, it is described as an ancient emissary of the sun with the in-universe title of the beast that devours the sun. Solgaleo's body is able to store immense amounts of energy, and it shines brilliantly when that energy is released. But here's where it gets weird. Solgaleo's typing? Psychic and Steel. Okay, I admit, I thought this was going to be where they finally introduced the light type. Being off the mark, but that is one thing. But did anyone expect the legendary associated with the sun to not be part fire? Further complicating things is the ability Full Metal Body, a reskin of Clear Body strangely enough, making it so opponents can't lower its stats, as well as its signature Sunsteel Strike, a fiery yet somehow steel-typed dive bomb attack that pierces through abilities that would reduce the damage it dealt. Multiscale? Solid Rock? Fur Coat? Nuh-uh, not safe against this one. There's some kind of theme here, but it's, not quite the sun god we were expecting. Seriously, not even part fire! Our other legendary isn't any less weird. Lunala is also classified using an Old English spelling, called an emissary of the moon with the title of the beast that calls the moon. Lunala's body can absorb surrounding light and convert it to energy, and with enough of it gathered, it even resembles a crescent moon set against the night sky. And yet, Lunala isn't part dark, it's psychic and ghost. Its ability Shadow Shield is multiscale under a different name, reducing damage taken if Lunala is at full health. And like its counterpart's signature move, Moongeist Beam bypasses any abilities that protect opponents against it. So what does this tell us? For one, we managed to know more than expected and less at the same time. The trademark leaks from a while back led us to correctly predicting both legendaries' names, which, on a side note, has interesting implications for a certain Marshadow and Gigareki that also showed up there. But the details of the new mons, the typing and descriptions in particular, throw a curveball in the speculation we've all been doing. What self-respecting sun and moon deities are weak to the elements most often associated with the sun and moon? Which has me and some others wondering, what if these two are something other than gods of the sun and moon? People all across the fandom have started noticing something interesting. Solgaleo seems to have strong ties to alchemy. You see, way back when it was practiced, alchemists would keep their findings secret using codes only certain groups of people would understand. Why is this important? Because the image they used to represent purifying metals was a lion eating the sun. Suddenly that steel typing, ability of Full Metal Body, and title of the beast that devours the sun make a little more sense, don't they? But you see, it goes a little deeper than that. A simpler sun symbol, try saying that 5 times fast, was used to represent several different concepts in alchemy, notably the metal gold. While Lunala doesn't have anything as obvious to pull from as the green lion, a moon symbol also shows up in alchemy, most notably representing the metal silver. And before you say anything, no, I'm not convinced this means the new games are tied to Pokemon Gold and Silver. Save it for if we get any more proof. But does alchemy tie even further into Solgaleo and Lunala? Well, they're described not as deities of the sun and moon, but as emissaries of them. They don't hold dominion over these immensely powerful celestial bodies, but they gather light and energy from them, a means to an end of harnessing the power of the heavens. In other words, they're living catalysts, the equivalent of a chemical who steps into a reaction to alter it or speed it up without being changed itself. Now what if there was some organization, an evil team, that wanted an incredible amount of energy from the sun or moon for some nefarious end, but it's far more than they could ever gather on their own, not through conventional means. Enter Solgaleo or Lunala. Could the evil team's plot this time be to capture one of the legendary Pokemon and use it to give them enough energy to become unstoppable? But believe it or not, there might be even more. Solgaleo and Lunala have been around since ancient times, if their descriptions mean anything. Yet if you look at both of their heads, their eyes and the markings that appear on their foreheads look electronic. Here's a crazy thought. Could these two godlike beings be artificial? What if there was some kind of ancient, highly advanced civilization in Alola that died out long ago? It's a common trope in many other Eastern RPGs, so would it be out of the question to happen in the Pokemon universe? What if this ancient civilization created Solgaleo and Lunala as a means of harnessing the energy that the pair gathers and stores so easily? What if doing so led to some kind of calamity, something that led to that civilization being wiped out? Something that forced the two legendary creatures to be sealed away for the greater good? It'd be an interesting narrative, wouldn't it? With the search for clean energy such a hot-button topic in today's world, Pokémon Sun and Moon could present us with two long-lost creations that could solve such a crisis in the game's world. But should they fall into the wrong hands, their sheer destructive force could make them super weapons. It's an interesting idea, isn't it? But for now, we only have so much to go off and a lot more questions than answers. And somehow, this just scratches the surface of what we learned in the latest reveal trailer. How did they cram so much new stuff into just a couple minutes? I don't know how often I'll be able to do these between now and the game's release in November, but I'll speak up when I feel like there's something worth saying. Stay tuned into this channel, and there's bound to be more to talk about. So long for now, and thanks for listening.